Master these Stoic habits because emotionally untouchable. There is a quiet kind of power that most people overlook. It does not shout, it does not demand attention, and it does not crumble under pressure. It simply exists, steady and unshaken. This is the power of emotional control. In a world where people react to everything, being calm becomes rare. And rarity creates value. When you learn to master your emotions, you stop being controlled by circumstances and start controlling your life. Most people think strength is about dominance or aggression, but true strength is internal. It is the ability to remain calm when everything around you is chaotic. It is choosing silence when others expect anger. It is walking away when your ego demands a reaction. This is what makes you emotionally untouchable. Not because you feel nothing, but because you choose what deserves your energy. One of the most powerful Stoic habits you can develop is awareness. Before you can control your emotions, you must first notice them. Pay attention to what triggers you. Observe how your body reacts. Notice how quickly your mind tries to jump to conclusions. Awareness creates space, and in that space, you gain the power to choose your response instead of reacting impulsively. Another habit is detachment. This does not mean you stop caring. It means you stop attaching your peace to things you cannot control. People will misunderstand you. Situations will not go your way. Life will be unpredictable. But when you detach your emotional stability from these external events, you become unshakable. You begin to realize that your peace is yours alone, and no one can take it unless you allow them to. Control of perception is another key principle. Events are neutral. It is your interpretation that gives them meaning. When something negative happens, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How can I use this?" This shift in thinking transforms obstacles into opportunities. It turns pain into growth and setbacks into lessons. Silence is also a powerful weapon. Not every situation deserves your reaction. Not every opinion deserves your attention. When you stop responding to everything, people lose the ability to control you. Silence creates mystery, and mystery creates respect. The less you react, the more powerful you become. Discipline plays a major role in emotional strength. You cannot expect to stay calm in difficult moments if you do not train your mind daily. Practice patience in small situations. Learn to pause before speaking. Train yourself to stay composed when things don't go your way. Over time, these small habits build a strong foundation that prepares you for bigger challenges. Another essential habit is accepting reality. Resistance creates suffering. When you fight against what has already happened, you only hurt yourself. Acceptance does not mean giving up. It means acknowledging reality so you can respond effectively. Once you accept a situation, you free yourself from emotional resistance and can focus on what truly matters. You must also learn to limit your emotional exposure. Not everything deserves your attention. Constantly consuming negativity, drama, and chaos will weaken your mind. Protect your mental space. Be selective about what you watch, what you listen to, and who you spend time with. Your environment shapes your mindset more than you realize. Patience is another overlooked strength. In a world that demands instant results, the ability to wait calmly gives you an advantage. Emotional people rush decisions. Stoic individuals take their time. They observe, they think, and they act with intention. Patience allows you to make better choices and avoid unnecessary mistakes. Letting go is a habit that many struggle with. Holding on to anger, resentment, or past experiences only drains your energy. The past cannot be changed, but your relationship with it can. When you learn to let go, you free yourself from emotional weight. You move forward lighter, clearer, and stronger. Confidence grows naturally when you master your emotions. Not the loud, attention-seeking type of confidence, but a quiet certainty within yourself. You no longer seek validation from others because you are grounded in who you are. This makes you less reactive and more focused on your own path. Another powerful habit is self-reflection. Take time to analyze your actions and reactions. Ask yourself what you could have done better. This is not about self-criticism, but about growth. The more you understand yourself, the more control you gain over your emotions and decisions. Consistency is what transforms these habits into a lifestyle. You cannot practice emotional control once and expect lasting results. It requires daily effort. Some days will be easier than others, but what matters is that you keep going. Over time, these habits become second nature. It is important to understand that being emotionally untouchable does not mean being cold or distant. It means being in control. You still feel emotions, but you are not controlled by them. You respond with clarity instead of reacting with impulse. This balance is what makes you truly powerful. Challenges will always come. People will test your patience. Situations will push your limits. But each challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your emotional discipline. Instead of seeing difficulties as problems, see them as training. Every moment of control makes you stronger. You will notice changes in how people treat you. When you stop reacting, people lose the ability to manipulate your emotions. They begin to respect your presence. Your calmness becomes your strength, and your silence becomes your message. At times, you may feel misunderstood. Not everyone will understand your calm approach. Some may see it as weakness. But true strength does not need validation. Stay focused on your growth. The results will speak for themselves. Peace becomes your default state. Instead of being constantly overwhelmed by emotions, you experience a sense of stability. This does not mean life becomes perfect, but it means you handle it better. You move through challenges with clarity and confidence. Your energy becomes more valuable. When you stop wasting it on unnecessary reactions, you have more to invest in what truly matters. Your goals, your growth, and your purpose become your priority. Over time, you will realize that emotional control is not about suppressing feelings. It is about understanding them and choosing how to respond. This awareness gives you freedom. Freedom from impulsive reactions, from unnecessary stress, and from external control. The journey to becoming emotionally untouchable is not instant. It requires patience, discipline, and commitment. But every step you take brings you closer to a stronger, calmer version of yourself. If you found value in this, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more powerful insights like this. Stay consistent, stay disciplined, and continue mastering your mind. As you continue this journey, you begin to notice something subtle but powerful. Situations that once triggered you no longer have the same effect. Words that once hurt you now pass by without leaving a mark. This is not because life has become easier, but because you have become stronger. Your mind no longer reacts automatically. It observes, processes, and then decides. You start to understand that not every battle is worth fighting. Many conflicts are fueled by ego, not necessity. When you learn to step back and assess situations calmly, you avoid unnecessary drama. You protect your peace instead of proving a point. And in doing so, you gain something far more valuable than temporary victory, which is long-term stability. There is also a deep sense of independence that comes with emotional control. You are no longer dependent on others for validation or happiness. Compliments do not inflate your ego, and criticism does not break your spirit. You remain steady regardless of external opinions. This level of independence is rare, and it sets you apart in a world where most people are easily influenced. Another important realization is that discomfort is a teacher. Instead of avoiding difficult emotions, you face them with curiosity. You ask yourself what they are trying to reveal. Every feeling becomes a lesson, every challenge becomes an opportunity to grow. This mindset transforms your relationship with hardship and turns it into a tool for self-improvement. Your focus also becomes sharper. When your mind is not clouded by emotional reactions, you think more clearly. You make better decisions. You see situations for what they truly are, not what your emotions make them seem. This clarity allows you to move through life with intention and purpose. Relationships begin to change as well. You stop chasing people who drain your energy. You become more selective about who you allow into your life. Quality replaces quantity. You value respect, understanding, and mutual growth over temporary connections. And as a result, your circle becomes stronger and more aligned with your mindset. You also develop resilience. Life will still test you, but you no longer break under pressure. You bend, you adapt, and you continue moving forward. This resilience is built through consistent practice. Every moment of patience, every controlled reaction, adds to your inner strength. Gratitude becomes a natural part of your mindset. Instead of focusing on what is missing, you appreciate what is present. This shift in perspective reduces negativity and increases contentment. You begin to see that peace is not something you find outside, but something you cultivate within. There will be moments when you slip. Moments when emotions get the best of you. This is part of the process. What matters is not perfection but progress. Each setback is a reminder to return to your practice. To observe, to learn, and to improve. As your emotional discipline grows, so does your influence. People notice your calm presence. They are drawn to your stability. In moments of chaos, you become a source of clarity. Your ability to remain composed inspires others, even if they do not say it out loud. You begin to value time differently. You no longer waste it on arguments, negativity, or distractions. You invest it in growth, learning, and meaningful experiences. This shift increases your productivity and brings a deeper sense of fulfillment. Fear also starts to lose its grip on you. Not because it disappears, but because you learn to face it without being controlled by it. You take action despite uncertainty. You move forward despite doubt. This courage is quiet but powerful, and it opens doors that fear once kept closed. Your identity becomes stronger. You are no longer defined by circumstances or other people's opinions. You define yourself through your actions, your discipline, and your mindset. This self-definition gives you a sense of direction and purpose. You start to realize that emotional mastery is a lifelong journey. There is always more to learn, more to refine, and more to understand. But instead of feeling overwhelmed, you embrace the process. You find satisfaction in growth itself. Silence continues to play a powerful role in your life. Not just in how you respond to others, but in how you connect with yourself. In quiet moments, you reflect, you reset, and you regain clarity. These moments of stillness become essential for maintaining your balance. Your reactions become intentional. Instead of being driven by impulse, you act with purpose. Every word, every action, is chosen carefully. This level of control enhances your presence and strengthens your impact. Over time, emotional control becomes effortless. What once required conscious effort becomes natural. You no longer struggle to stay calm, it simply becomes who you are. This transformation is the result of consistent practice and dedication. You will notice that your stress levels decrease significantly. Situations that once overwhelmed you now feel manageable. You approach challenges with a calm mindset, which allows you to find solutions more effectively. Respect becomes something you naturally attract. Not because you demand it, but because your behavior commands it. People recognize the strength in your composure and the confidence in your silence. You begin to live with greater intention. Every decision aligns with your values and your goals. You are no longer drifting through life reacting to everything. You are moving forward with clarity and purpose. And in the end, you realize that being emotionally untouchable is not about building walls. It is about building strength. It is about creating a mindset that cannot be easily shaken. A mindset that remains steady, focused, and calm, no matter what life brings. If this message speaks to you, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more insights like this. Keep building your discipline, protect your peace, and continue mastering your emotions. At a certain point, you begin to notice that your reactions no longer define your experiences. Instead, your mindset shapes everything. Where others see frustration, you see perspective. Where others feel pressure, you feel opportunity. This shift is subtle, but it changes the way you move through life. You stop being a prisoner of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your responses. You also begin to understand the power of restraint. Not everything needs to be said. Not every thought needs to be expressed. There is strength in holding back, in choosing the right moment, and speaking only when it adds value. This level of restraint protects you from unnecessary conflict and preserves your energy for what truly matters. Another transformation happens in how you handle criticism. Instead of reacting defensively, you analyze it. You take what is useful and discard what is not. This makes you grow faster than those who let their ego block feedback. You become adaptable, constantly improving, and always learning. Your tolerance for chaos decreases. Not because you cannot handle it, but because you choose not to entertain it. You remove yourself from environments that disturb your peace. You stop engaging in conversations that lead nowhere. This selective focus strengthens your mental clarity and keeps your energy aligned with your purpose. You begin to move differently. There is less urgency, less desperation, and more intention. You are not rushing to prove anything to anyone. You are focused on becoming better, one step at a time. This calm progression creates a sense of control that others can feel when they interact with you. Temptations also lose their hold on you. Whether it is the urge to react, to argue, or to seek validation, you recognize it for what it is. A momentary impulse that does not deserve control over your actions. This awareness gives you the ability to pause, to think, and to choose a better path. There is a deep level of self-trust that develops. You trust your ability to handle situations. You trust your judgment. You trust your discipline. This trust eliminates doubt and strengthens your confidence in ways that external validation never could. Your emotional range becomes more balanced. You are not swinging from extreme highs to extreme lows. Instead, you maintain a steady state. This balance allows you to enjoy positive moments without becoming attached and face negative moments without being overwhelmed. You also become more present. When your mind is not constantly reacting or overthinking, you can fully experience the moment. Conversations become more meaningful. Activities become more enjoyable. Life feels less rushed and more intentional. Over time, you realize that emotional mastery is not about control alone, but about freedom. Freedom from unnecessary stress. Freedom from external influence. Freedom to choose how you think, how you feel, and how you act. This freedom is what makes the journey worthwhile. There will always be people who try to test your patience. Some will provoke, some will misunderstand, and some will project their own struggles onto you. But your strength lies in not absorbing that energy. You remain grounded, unaffected, and focused on your own path. You start to see life as a series of choices rather than reactions. Every situation gives you an option: to react or to respond, to engage or to walk away, to let it affect you or to remain steady. And with practice, you consistently choose the path that preserves your peace. Your standards rise. You expect more from yourself, not in a harsh way, but in a disciplined way. You hold yourself accountable. You refuse to fall back into old patterns. This self-respect becomes the foundation of your growth. You also begin to embrace simplicity. You no longer need constant stimulation or validation. You find peace in quiet moments, in focused work, in meaningful connections. This simplicity clears your mind and strengthens your emotional stability. As your mindset evolves, so does your vision. You start thinking long-term. You are less concerned with immediate gratification and more focused on lasting results. This shift allows you to make decisions that benefit your future, not just your present emotions. You become less reactive to negativity. Whether it comes from people, situations, or even your own thoughts, you observe it without letting it take control. This detachment creates a sense of inner peace that remains consistent, regardless of external conditions. There is also a sense of quiet pride that develops. Not the kind that seeks attention, but the kind that comes from knowing you are in control of yourself. This pride fuels your discipline and keeps you committed to your growth. Eventually, emotional control becomes part of your identity. It is no longer something you practice occasionally. It is something you embody daily. Your calmness, your patience, and your clarity become natural extensions of who you are. And when you reach this level, life begins to feel different. Not easier, but more manageable. More structured. More intentional. You no longer feel at the mercy of your emotions. You feel in control, grounded, and prepared for whatever comes your way. So continue on this path. Stay disciplined. Stay aware. Keep refining your mindset and strengthening your habits. Because the more you master your emotions, the more you master your life. If you want to keep growing and learning how to build this level of mental strength, subscribe to the channel for more powerful insights. Your journey is just beginning, and there is so much more ahead for you. There comes a stage where you stop needing constant reassurance that you are on the right path. You simply know. That quiet certainty becomes your foundation. While others look outward for direction, you look inward. You trust the habits you've built, the discipline you've practiced, and the mindset you've strengthened over time. You begin to notice how little truly requires your emotional investment. Many things that once felt urgent now seem insignificant. This awareness allows you to conserve your energy and apply it only where it truly matters. Your focus sharpens, and your life becomes less cluttered with unnecessary noise. You also develop a higher level of emotional intelligence. You start to understand not only your own emotions but also the emotions of others. Instead of reacting to people's behavior, you recognize the underlying reasons behind it. This understanding gives you an advantage. You respond with clarity instead of confusion, with control instead of impulse. Your presence becomes more powerful without you trying. You don't need to speak loudly or demand attention. There is a calm confidence in the way you carry yourself. People sense it. They notice the way you handle situations, the way you remain composed, and the way you don't get pulled into unnecessary drama. Another shift happens in how you deal with uncertainty. Instead of fearing the unknown, you accept it as part of life. You understand that not everything can be predicted or controlled. This acceptance removes a significant amount of anxiety and allows you to move forward with confidence, even when the path is unclear. You also stop taking things personally. This is a major breakthrough. You realize that most of what people say and do is a reflection of their own thoughts and experiences, not a direct attack on you. This perspective frees you from unnecessary emotional reactions and helps you maintain your peace. Your decision-making improves significantly. Without emotional interference, you can analyze situations more objectively. You weigh your options carefully and act based on logic and long-term benefits rather than short-term feelings. This leads to better outcomes in every area of your life. You begin to embrace discomfort as part of growth. Instead of avoiding difficult situations, you lean into them. You understand that every challenge is an opportunity to strengthen your mind. This willingness to face discomfort sets you apart from those who constantly seek ease. There is also a deeper sense of responsibility that develops. You stop blaming others or external circumstances for your situation. You take ownership of your actions, your reactions, and your results. This level of accountability gives you control over your life and empowers you to create change. Your communication becomes more effective. You speak with intention, you listen with focus, and you respond with clarity. You no longer engage in conversations that are driven by emotion alone. This improves your relationships and strengthens your ability to connect with others on a meaningful level. You start to value solitude, not as an escape, but as a tool for growth. In moments of solitude, you reflect, you reset, and you realign yourself with your goals. These moments become essential for maintaining your emotional balance and clarity. Your priorities become clearer. You stop chasing things that do not align with your values. You invest your time and energy into what truly matters. This alignment creates a sense of fulfillment that goes beyond temporary satisfaction. Over time, you build a mindset that is difficult to disturb. External chaos no longer creates internal chaos. You remain steady, focused, and calm, regardless of what is happening around you. This stability becomes your greatest strength. You also begin to inspire others without even trying. Your actions speak louder than words. People observe your discipline, your patience, and your composure. Even if they do not fully understand it, they are influenced by it. There will still be moments of challenge. Moments where your patience is tested and your emotions try to take control. But now, you have the tools to handle them. You pause, you observe, and you choose your response. This process becomes second nature. You realize that emotional mastery is not about eliminating emotions, but about mastering your relationship with them. You allow yourself to feel, but you do not allow those feelings to control your actions. This balance is what creates true strength. Your life becomes more intentional with each passing day. You are no longer reacting to everything that happens. You are choosing your path, step by step, with clarity and purpose. This intentional living brings a sense of direction and fulfillment. As you continue to grow, you understand that this journey has no final destination. There is always another level of discipline to reach, another layer of awareness to uncover. And instead of rushing, you embrace the process. You remain patient with yourself. Growth takes time. Mistakes will happen. But each experience adds to your understanding and strengthens your mindset. You keep moving forward, focused and consistent. In the end, being emotionally untouchable is not about shutting the world out. It is about standing strong within it. It is about maintaining your peace, regardless of circumstances. It is about choosing clarity over chaos, discipline over impulse, and purpose over distraction. If you're committed to becoming this version of yourself, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more insights like this. Keep building your strength, stay consistent, and continue mastering your mind every single day. As you keep moving forward, you begin to notice that your inner world becomes more stable than anything happening outside of you. No matter how unpredictable life gets, there is a center within you that remains untouched. This inner stability becomes your anchor. It keeps you grounded when everything else feels uncertain. You also realize that control is not about forcing outcomes. It is about managing your response to whatever outcome occurs. This shift removes the pressure of trying to control everything and replaces it with a calm confidence in your ability to handle anything. You stop resisting life and start flowing with it, without losing your sense of direction. Your awareness of time deepens. You understand that every moment spent in anger, worry, or unnecessary stress is a moment you will never get back. This realization makes you more intentional with how you spend your energy. You choose peace not because it is easy, but because it is valuable. You begin to detach from the need to be understood by everyone. Not everyone will see your vision or appreciate your mindset. And that is fine. You no longer feel the need to explain yourself or seek approval. You let your actions speak, and you move forward without hesitation. Another important shift is how you handle failure. Instead of seeing it as something negative, you see it as feedback. Every setback becomes information that helps you improve. This perspective removes fear and encourages growth. You take risks, you learn, and you keep evolving. You also become more selective with your thoughts. Not every thought deserves your attention. You learn to question negative patterns and redirect your focus. This mental discipline strengthens your emotional control and keeps your mindset aligned with your goals. There is a growing sense of calm confidence in everything you do. You are not rushed, you are not desperate, and you are not easily shaken. This confidence is built on self-discipline and consistency. It is quiet, but it is powerful. You start to see challenges as opportunities to practice your mindset. Every difficult situation becomes a test of your emotional control. And instead of avoiding these tests, you embrace them. You understand that each challenge makes you stronger. Your ability to stay present improves even more. You are no longer lost in past regrets or future anxieties. You focus on what is in front of you. This presence allows you to perform better, think clearer, and live more fully. You also begin to appreciate the simplicity of discipline. Small actions, repeated consistently, create powerful results. Whether it is controlling your reactions, maintaining your focus, or staying patient, these small habits build a strong foundation over time. Your mindset becomes less about reacting and more about creating. You are no longer just responding to life, you are shaping it. Your choices, your habits, and your discipline all work together to create the life you want. There is also a sense of freedom that grows within you. You are no longer tied down by emotional impulses or external pressures. You have the ability to choose your path without being influenced by temporary feelings. This freedom is one of the greatest rewards of emotional mastery. You become more comfortable with silence, not just around others, but within yourself. Your mind becomes quieter. The constant noise of overthinking begins to fade. In its place, you find clarity and focus. You start to recognize that peace is not something you find at the end of your journey. It is something you practice every day. In your thoughts, your actions, and your responses. This daily practice strengthens your mindset and keeps you aligned with your goals. Your standards for yourself continue to rise. You expect discipline, consistency, and control. Not because you are forcing yourself, but because it has become part of who you are. You no longer settle for less. You also become more adaptable. Life changes, situations evolve, and challenges appear unexpectedly. But instead of resisting these changes, you adjust. You remain flexible while staying grounded in your principles. There is a deeper understanding that develops over time. You realize that true power is not about controlling others or external situations. It is about controlling yourself. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions. This self-mastery is what sets you apart. You begin to move with purpose. Every step you take is intentional. You are no longer drifting or reacting blindly. You have direction, and you follow it with discipline. As your journey continues, you notice that your peace becomes non-negotiable. You do not allow unnecessary negativity to enter your space. You protect your mindset with intention and discipline. There will always be new levels to reach, new habits to refine, and new challenges to overcome. But you are no longer intimidated by this. You welcome it. Growth has become part of your identity. And in the end, you understand that being emotionally untouchable is not about perfection. It is about progress. It is about showing up every day, practicing discipline, and choosing control over chaos. If this message continues to resonate with you, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more powerful insights like this. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and keep building the mindset that will carry you through anything life brings. As you go deeper into this path, you begin to notice a powerful separation between who you are and what you feel. Emotions still arise, but they no longer define you. You observe them like passing weather. Some are intense, some are calm, but none of them stay forever. This understanding gives you a sense of control that most people never experience. You also start to recognize patterns in others. You see how easily people are pulled by anger, validation, and fear. Instead of judging them, you simply understand. This awareness helps you navigate conversations and situations with precision. You no longer get caught in emotional traps because you can see them before they fully unfold. Your patience becomes deeper and more refined. It is no longer just about waiting, but about waiting with purpose. You understand that timing matters. Acting too quickly can create problems, while waiting with awareness can create opportunities. This level of patience gives you an advantage in both personal and professional situations. There is also a shift in how you define success. It is no longer based only on external achievements, but on internal stability. Being able to remain calm under pressure, to stay focused despite distractions, and to act with discipline becomes your new standard. This internal success reflects outwardly in everything you do. You begin to trust silence even more. Silence becomes your space for thinking, for observing, and for maintaining control. In moments where others rush to speak or react, you remain composed. This not only protects your energy but also strengthens your presence. Your resilience continues to grow. Difficult situations no longer feel overwhelming. Instead, they feel like part of the process. You handle them with a calm mind and a steady approach. This resilience allows you to recover quickly and keep moving forward without losing momentum. You also become more aware of your environment. You understand that the people you surround yourself with and the content you consume directly affect your mindset. This awareness makes you more intentional. You choose environments that support your growth and distance yourself from those that disrupt your peace. There is a growing sense of discipline in your daily actions. You no longer rely on motivation, because you understand that motivation is temporary. Discipline becomes your foundation. It keeps you consistent even when you do not feel like it. This consistency strengthens your character and builds lasting results. You begin to experience a deeper level of clarity. Decisions that once felt complicated become simpler. You know what aligns with your values and what does not. This clarity removes confusion and helps you move forward with confidence. Your emotional independence becomes stronger. You are not easily influenced by praise or criticism. You appreciate positive feedback, but you do not depend on it. You listen to criticism, but you are not controlled by it. This balance keeps you grounded. You also start to understand the importance of boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your time, your energy, or your attention. You set limits without guilt. You protect your peace without explanation. This ability to create boundaries strengthens your emotional stability. There is a noticeable calmness in the way you handle pressure. Where others panic, you think. Where others react, you respond. This calmness becomes one of your greatest strengths, allowing you to handle situations effectively. You begin to appreciate the journey itself. Instead of rushing to reach a destination, you focus on improving each day. This mindset removes unnecessary stress and allows you to enjoy the process of growth. Your sense of purpose becomes clearer. You understand why you are doing what you are doing. This purpose keeps you focused and prevents you from being distracted by things that do not matter. You also develop a stronger connection with yourself. You understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and your triggers. This self-awareness allows you to improve continuously and maintain control over your actions. There is a quiet confidence that continues to grow within you. You do not need to prove anything to anyone. You simply continue to build, improve, and move forward. This confidence is stable because it is built on discipline and self-control. You start to see how powerful your mindset truly is. It shapes your experiences, your decisions, and your outcomes. By controlling your mindset, you control the direction of your life. Your reactions become more refined. You respond with intention, not impulse. This control improves your relationships, your decisions, and your overall quality of life. Over time, you realize that emotional mastery is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. It affects every area of your life. Your work, your relationships, your growth, and your peace all improve as a result. And as you continue this journey, you understand that there is always another level to reach, another layer of discipline to build, another habit to refine. This constant growth keeps you evolving. So stay committed to this path. Keep practicing awareness, discipline, and control. Because the more you master your emotions, the more you unlock your true potential. If you are serious about becoming this version of yourself, subscribe to the channel for more insights like this. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep building the mindset that makes you truly untouchable. At this stage, your growth becomes less visible to others but more powerful within you. The changes are subtle, yet they affect everything. You no longer feel the need to announce your progress. You simply live it. Your actions speak quietly, but they carry weight. You begin to notice how quickly emotional situations pass when you don't attach yourself to them. What once would have consumed your entire day now fades within moments. This ability to release emotions quickly keeps your mind clear and your energy focused. Your sense of control becomes more natural. You don't have to remind yourself constantly to stay calm. It happens automatically. You've practiced enough that composure becomes your default state, not something you struggle to maintain. You also develop a stronger filter for what deserves your attention. Distractions lose their appeal. Drama feels unnecessary. You become more selective, choosing only what aligns with your growth and purpose. This selectiveness sharpens your focus and increases your effectiveness. There is a deeper level of discipline in how you think. You don't allow your mind to wander into negativity for long. When unproductive thoughts appear, you recognize them and redirect your focus. This mental discipline strengthens your emotional resilience. You begin to understand that peace is not fragile. It is strong. It does not disappear when challenges arise. Instead, it adapts and remains steady. This realization changes how you approach difficulties. You no longer fear losing your peace, because you know how to maintain it. Your reactions become slower, more deliberate. This is not hesitation, but control. You take the time to understand situations before responding. This prevents mistakes and allows you to act with clarity and precision. You also notice a shift in how you experience success and failure. Success does not make you overly excited, and failure does not bring you down. You remain balanced. This stability allows you to stay consistent regardless of outcomes. There is a growing sense of self-respect that comes from this discipline. You trust yourself more because you know you can handle situations without losing control. This trust strengthens your confidence and your ability to move forward. You start to detach from the need for constant activity. You no longer feel the urge to always be doing something. You are comfortable with stillness. In that stillness, you find clarity, creativity, and strength. Your ability to handle pressure reaches another level. Stressful situations no longer feel overwhelming. You break them down, you analyze them, and you respond step by step. This structured approach keeps you calm and effective. You also become more aware of your energy. You notice when something drains you and when something strengthens you. This awareness helps you make better choices about how you spend your time and who you engage with. There is a quiet satisfaction in your progress. You don't need external validation to feel accomplished. You measure your growth by your discipline, your control, and your consistency. You begin to see how much of life is influenced by perception. Two people can face the same situation and experience it completely differently. By controlling your perception, you shape your reality in a powerful way. Your communication becomes even more refined. You speak less, but with more impact. Your words are intentional, clear, and purposeful. This increases your influence and strengthens your relationships. You also develop a stronger sense of inner peace. Not the kind that depends on everything going right, but the kind that remains even when things go wrong. This peace becomes your foundation. As you continue, you realize that emotional mastery is not about reaching a final destination. It is about maintaining a standard. A standard of awareness, discipline, and control that you uphold every day. You become more resilient to external pressure. Whether it is expectations, criticism, or challenges, you remain steady. You do not allow external forces to disrupt your internal balance. There is also a sense of freedom in letting go of control over others. You understand that you cannot control how people think, act, or feel. And instead of trying, you focus on controlling yourself. This shift removes unnecessary stress and strengthens your mindset. You start to appreciate the power of consistency even more. Small, disciplined actions repeated daily create lasting change. This understanding keeps you committed to your habits and your growth. And through all of this, you continue to evolve. You refine your mindset, strengthen your habits, and deepen your awareness. Each day becomes an opportunity to improve, to learn, and to grow. Stay committed to this journey. Keep building your discipline, protecting your peace, and mastering your emotions. Because this path leads to a level of strength and clarity that cannot be taken from you. If you want more insights like this, subscribe to the channel and continue growing with this mindset. Your transformation is ongoing, and the best is still ahead. As your journey continues, you begin to operate from a place of deep internal alignment. Your thoughts, actions, and values start to match. There is no inner conflict pulling you in different directions. This alignment creates a sense of calm confidence that cannot be easily shaken. You also become more intentional with your reactions to success. Instead of becoming overly excited or losing focus, you stay grounded. You appreciate the moment, but you do not let it distract you from your path. This balance keeps you consistent and prevents you from becoming complacent. Another shift happens in how you view challenges. You no longer see them as interruptions, but as part of your growth. Each challenge becomes an opportunity to refine your mindset and strengthen your discipline. This perspective removes frustration and replaces it with purpose. You begin to trust the process more than the outcome. You understand that results take time, and you focus on what you can control daily. This patience allows you to stay committed, even when progress feels slow. There is a deeper level of awareness in how you handle your thoughts. You no longer believe everything your mind tells you. You question it, analyze it, and choose whether to act on it. This control over your thinking strengthens your emotional stability. You also become more comfortable with uncertainty. Instead of needing everything to be clear and predictable, you accept that some things will always be unknown. This acceptance reduces anxiety and allows you to move forward with confidence. Your ability to stay calm in difficult conversations improves. You listen more, react less, and respond with clarity. This not only strengthens your relationships but also increases your influence in any situation. You begin to value discipline over comfort. You understand that growth often requires discomfort, and you are willing to embrace it. This willingness sets you apart and accelerates your progress. There is a stronger sense of independence in your mindset. You are no longer influenced by trends, opinions, or external pressures. You make decisions based on your values and your goals. This independence gives you control over your direction. You also develop a greater appreciation for simplicity. You realize that a focused mind, a disciplined routine, and a clear purpose are more powerful than constant complexity. This simplicity keeps you grounded and effective. Your emotional reactions become more predictable to you. You understand your triggers and how to manage them. This awareness allows you to stay in control even in challenging situations. You begin to see time as one of your most valuable resources. You protect it carefully. You avoid distractions that do not add value. You invest your time in growth, learning, and meaningful actions. There is a noticeable shift in your confidence. It is no longer based on temporary achievements, but on your ability to remain steady and disciplined. This type of confidence is stable and long-lasting. You also become more adaptable. When plans change or unexpected situations arise, you adjust without losing your composure. This flexibility allows you to navigate life more effectively. Your focus on self-improvement becomes consistent. You are always looking for ways to grow. There comes a moment where you stop questioning whether this path is worth it. You already know the answer through experience. The calm you feel, the clarity you carry, and the control you've built all become proof. You don't need convincing anymore. You've seen what happens when you stay disciplined, and you've seen what happens when you don't. At this level, distractions become easier to ignore. Not because they disappear, but because they no longer appeal to you. You understand their cost. Every unnecessary reaction, every moment of lost focus, every emotional outburst takes something from you. And now you value your energy too much to waste it. You also begin to operate with a long-term mindset in everything you do. Short-term satisfaction loses its grip. You think beyond the moment. You ask yourself what truly matters and what will still matter later. This perspective helps you make decisions that build a stronger future instead of temporary comfort. Your emotional control becomes something people rely on. In difficult situations, others may look to you for stability. Your calm presence becomes a steady point in moments of uncertainty. Without saying much, you create an environment where clarity can exist. You start to notice that your inner dialogue changes. The way you speak to yourself becomes more disciplined, more focused, and more constructive. You no longer entertain thoughts that weaken you. Instead, you reinforce thoughts that strengthen your mindset and align with your goals. There is also a deeper level of humility that develops. You understand that growth is continuous. No matter how far you've come, there is always more to learn. This humility keeps you grounded and open to improvement. You become less reactive not just in actions, but in thoughts. When something happens, your mind does not immediately jump to conclusions. You pause. You assess. You choose how to interpret the situation. This mental control strengthens your overall stability. You also gain a better understanding of balance. You know when to push forward and when to step back. You know when to speak and when to stay silent. This balance allows you to move through life with precision and control. Your focus on what truly matters becomes sharper than ever. You invest your time in growth, in meaningful relationships, and in purposeful work. Everything else becomes secondary. This focus simplifies your life and increases your effectiveness. You begin to experience a sense of alignment. Your thoughts, your actions, and your values all move in the same direction. There is no internal conflict pulling you apart. This alignment creates a deep sense of peace and confidence. Your ability to handle setbacks continues to improve. You no longer see them as interruptions, but as part of the process. You adapt quickly, learn from them, and keep moving forward without losing momentum. There is also a sense of detachment from outcomes. You do your best, you stay disciplined, and you let results come as they will. This detachment reduces stress and allows you to focus fully on your actions rather than worrying about what you cannot control. You start to see how powerful consistency truly is. It is not the big actions that define your growth, but the small ones repeated over time. This understanding keeps you committed even on days when progress feels slow. Your emotional strength becomes quiet but unshakable. You do not need to prove it. You do not need to display it. It shows in the way you handle life, in the way you respond, and in the way you remain steady under pressure. You also become more aware of your purpose. Not in a dramatic way, but in a clear and steady way. You know what you are working toward, and you move toward it with discipline and focus. There is a growing appreciation for simplicity. You no longer complicate things unnecessarily. You focus on what works, what matters, and what aligns with your values. This simplicity creates clarity and reduces stress. You continue to refine your habits. You adjust, you improve, and you stay consistent. This constant refinement keeps you evolving and prevents stagnation. Your mindset becomes your strongest asset. It shapes your experiences, your decisions, and your outcomes. By maintaining control over your mindset, you maintain control over your direction. And as you move forward, you realize that this journey is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming better. Better than you were yesterday. Stronger, calmer, and more disciplined with each step. So keep going. Stay committed to your growth. Protect your peace, refine your mindset, and continue building the habits that make you emotionally untouchable. If you want to keep strengthening this mindset and learning more powerful principles like this, subscribe to the channel. Stay consistent, stay focused, and continue mastering your mind. As you continue, you begin to experience a kind of mental stillness that once felt impossible. Your thoughts are no longer racing for control. Instead, they move with order and intention. This stillness does not mean emptiness, it means clarity. It means your mind is no longer crowded with noise that distracts you from what truly matters. You start to notice how powerful your presence becomes in quiet moments. You don't need to fill every silence. You don't need to react to every situation. There is strength in simply being aware, in observing without interference. This presence gives you an advantage that most people overlook. Your relationship with pressure completely transforms. What once felt overwhelming now feels manageable. You break situations down calmly, focusing on what you can control. This approach removes panic and replaces it with precision. You act with purpose, not emotion. You also begin to see how much control you have over your own experience. External events still happen, but they no longer dictate your internal state. You decide how much weight to give them. This realization gives you a sense of freedom that changes everything. There is a deeper discipline in how you handle your energy. You do not waste it on things that do not contribute to your growth. You choose where to invest your attention, and you stay committed to that choice. This control over your energy increases your productivity and strengthens your focus. You begin to understand that emotional mastery is not about suppression. It is about direction. You feel everything, but you guide those feelings in a way that supports your goals instead of disrupting them. This balance is what creates true control. Your mindset becomes more resilient with each challenge you face. Instead of being shaken, you become stronger. Each difficult moment adds to your experience and sharpens your awareness. You start to welcome challenges as part of your evolution. You also develop a greater sense of self-respect. You hold yourself to a higher standard, not out of pressure, but out of understanding. You know what you are capable of, and you act in alignment with that knowledge. There is a noticeable calmness in how you approach decisions. You do not rush. You take the time to think, to analyze, and to choose wisely. This careful approach reduces mistakes and leads to better outcomes. You begin to see how your habits shape your identity. Every small action reinforces who you are becoming. This awareness makes you more intentional with your choices. You build habits that strengthen your mindset and support your growth. Your tolerance for negativity becomes very low. Not because you are avoiding reality, but because you understand its impact. You protect your mind from unnecessary influence and focus on what adds value. You also become more focused on progress rather than perfection. You understand that growth is a process. Mistakes are part of that process. What matters is that you keep moving forward and continue improving. There is a deeper sense of confidence in your actions. You no longer second-guess yourself as much. You trust your judgment because you have built it through discipline and experience. You begin to appreciate the importance of rest and recovery. You understand that constant pressure is not sustainable. You allow yourself time to reset, knowing that it strengthens your ability to stay consistent. Your communication becomes even more precise. You speak with clarity, and you listen with intention. This improves your relationships and increases your effectiveness in every interaction. You also develop a stronger connection with your purpose. You are not just moving aimlessly. You have direction, and you follow it with discipline and focus. This sense of purpose gives meaning to your actions. There is a quiet strength in your consistency. You show up every day, even when it is difficult. This consistency builds momentum and creates lasting change. You start to see that emotional control is not something you turn on and off. It is a way of living. It influences how you think, how you act, and how you respond to everything around you. And as you continue to grow, you realize that this mindset is one of the most valuable things you can develop. It affects every part of your life. Your decisions, your relationships, your success, and your peace all improve because of it. So keep building. Keep refining. Keep strengthening your habits and your mindset. Because the more you develop this level of control, the more unstoppable you become. If you are committed to this journey, subscribe to the channel for more insights like this. Stay disciplined, stay focused, and continue mastering your mind every single day. As you move even further along this path, you begin to realize that true control is quiet and almost invisible. It does not announce itself, yet it shapes everything. The way you think, the way you react, the way you carry yourself all begin to reflect a level of discipline that speaks without words. You start to notice that your emotional baseline has changed. What used to disturb you no longer reaches you the same way. It is not that life has become easier, but your threshold has grown stronger. You can handle more without feeling overwhelmed, and that strength continues to expand. There is also a deeper sense of detachment from outcomes. You give your best effort, you stay consistent, but you no longer tie your peace to results. Whether things go your way or not, you remain steady. This stability allows you to keep moving forward without losing focus. You begin to understand that not everything requires your opinion. Not every situation needs your input. Sometimes the most powerful response is no response at all. This restraint protects your energy and keeps you focused on what truly matters. Your self-awareness becomes sharper. You can catch your thoughts before they turn into reactions. You can feel emotions without being controlled by them. This awareness gives you a level of precision in your actions that most people never develop. You also become more intentional with your goals. You are not chasing everything. You are focused on what aligns with your purpose. This clarity reduces distractions and helps you move forward with direction. There is a growing sense of inner peace that does not depend on external conditions. Even when things around you are uncertain, you remain grounded. This peace becomes your strength, allowing you to navigate life with confidence. You start to recognize the importance of letting things be. Not everything needs to be fixed, controlled, or changed. Some things simply need to be accepted. This acceptance reduces unnecessary stress and helps you maintain balance. Your discipline becomes more refined. It is no longer forced, it is natural. You do what needs to be done without resistance. This consistency builds a strong foundation that supports every area of your life. You also begin to value your time at a deeper level. You become more selective with how you spend it. You invest it in growth, in meaningful work, and in things that align with your vision. There is a noticeable difference in how you handle conflict. You do not react impulsively. You remain calm, you listen, and you respond with clarity. This approach not only resolves issues more effectively but also strengthens your character. You begin to trust your instincts more. Your decisions are guided by a combination of logic, experience, and awareness. This trust reduces hesitation and allows you to act with confidence. Your focus on self-improvement becomes steady and consistent. You are always refining your habits, adjusting your mindset, and improving your actions. This continuous growth keeps you evolving. You also develop a stronger sense of independence. You do not rely on others for validation or direction. You know your path, and you follow it with discipline and confidence. There is a quiet resilience in how you face challenges. You do not break under pressure. You adapt, you learn, and you continue moving forward. This resilience becomes one of your greatest strengths. You begin to see that emotional mastery is not about control alone, but about understanding. Understanding yourself, your reactions, and your patterns. This understanding allows you to make better choices. Your mindset becomes more focused on solutions rather than problems. You do not dwell on what went wrong. You focus on what can be done. This approach keeps you productive and forward-moving. You also become more comfortable with growth taking time. You are no longer in a rush. You understand that real change is built slowly through consistent effort. There is a deeper sense of clarity in your life. You know what matters, and you focus on it. Everything else becomes background noise that no longer distracts you. And as you continue, you realize that being emotionally untouchable is not about becoming distant or disconnected. It is about becoming stable, aware, and in control. It is about building a mindset that remains steady no matter what happens. So keep going. Stay disciplined. Stay aware. Keep refining your habits and strengthening your mindset. Because every step you take brings you closer to a level of control and clarity that cannot be taken from you. If you want to keep growing and strengthening this mindset, subscribe to the channel for more insights like this. Stay consistent, stay focused, and continue mastering your mind,